Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by tonight. Hey Russell, David Williams, thanks for stopping by. As you can see, I'm mailing stuff. All the folks that asked for hats and things of that nature, I'm mailing them out this week. So I've got all these boxes with hats and stickers in them. I'll try to get those out the next day or two. So, plus I'm getting ready for the tournament. For those guys that are fishing the tournament, you've probably seen your code come in. If not, it'll be in later tonight. I'm trying to get them all the participant codes out tonight. So, appreciate you guys stopping by. This is the last live before the tournament starts on Saturday. So, anybody wants to jump up in here with me? Has any questions or wants to chat? Hey, Bass Hunter, how are you? Good to see you. Russell, you got your code. Brian, I don't know if I think I sent your code. I've sent 800 or 670 emails in the last 2 days, so I don't know who I'll send it to, but I know Russell, I remember you. Brian, I think I may have got yours up here. If not, it'll be tonight. So, Brian, have you been out on Mooney lately? Hey, Nick, thanks for stopping by. Brian, you got yours. Okay, good. Marty called. I called Marty actually today, and he said he's out on Mooney. I didn't know if you were out there or not. Nope. I'm going to try Lunga on Friday. I think get out there, see how it goes. I'm going to be fishing hard and heavy the 1st to the 5th with this full moon. Since I got to make up some videos that's in the bottom of the lake. So. See what else is in here. Nick, thanks again for stopping by. If anybody has any questions or wants to jump up, you just click on the link that I just provided out there in here. I think the instructions I sent out. You'll be on Lungo Friday all day? Okay, I'll be out there with you, Brian. I think the instructions I sent out for the 5-bass draw are pretty good, but I'm hoping. Hey, Mike. Big Bait Posse. I'm hoping the smallmouth are hungry. Dude, I watched your video the other day. Man, you were just killing it out there on the river. Get that like pinkish purple crankbait. Yeah, they were nice smallies. They were big smallies. Yeah, just in time, Mike, for the tournament starting on Saturday. So I don't know if John or Lindia either one of them have jumped in tonight. They put out a video today. They got a 30-pound 5-stringer yesterday. No, we're counting all 5 bass, Brian. Read the instructions, dang it. The smallest and largest is for the team tournament that's coming out. Hey, Mike Dennis, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, the 5 bass is 5-bass draw is the 3, and then for the first 3-week period, and then 2 in the second week period. But they both have to be 1 inch. The first one has to be 1 inch larger than your largest in the first period, and then the second one has to be at least 1 inch larger than that one. So I thought I laid it out pretty well in the instructions. If not, I put the video link to the video that's out there on how I explain it as well. So if anybody has any questions. My dogs are in there going crazy. What's the 30-pound bag was pretty good. They just had a great day, and I chuckled. I was like, "You probably burned it. You probably burned your day for the tournament." when you have a great day like that, you only have one of those. You have one of those once in a blue moon, right, where you catch giant bass. And it doesn't come around that often. I don't care if you're in Florida or not, or on Donkey Land or not. That's probably the best day they've had, large fish wise. So, but it's a good video. So. Hey, Nicole, I think I sent your code out here recently. I think you'll be ready. I think you were third place last year in the 5 bass draw, so I'm sure you'll be ready to defend the title, or your third place title anyway, from last year. So good to see you on here, Nicole. Brian, you said you had 28.8 in 4 bass bag on Mooney. And that's a great day. That's a great day. So Nick, Mooney seems different from this time last year. Every year is a little bit different, but there was a lull last year on Mooney in the summer, and it went from like the 20th of June last year. And only reason I know is I got all my video logs, right? I can go back and look at my video log. From about the 20th of June, 15th, 20th of June until about the 10th of July, Mooney was dead slow, and then it turned up from about 10 July to about 10 August and then died off again. So, yeah, there is less grass, but the bass are still there. You just got to figure out how to catch it. I've got a few techniques that that are starting to work for me. If you haven't seen the big white, if you haven't seen a video with, I'll probably put one out in the next week or so. The big white hair jigs are catching them. If you just throw it out there, you don't need a trailer, just the big bucktail white jigs with maybe a little bit of silver strands in it, seem to be really a good technique right now. But the grass, there is not as much grass out there for sure. Yeah, Brian, I agree. July and August, up until about mid to late August, it starts to taper off. But yeah, July and late August are pretty good out there. I was gonna go out to Able on Saturday morning with I think Nick Cross is his name, the guy who won first place on our. I got to give him his prize pack last week. I'm gonna take him out on a boat with me this week, and I was going to go on Able, but I think I might go to Mooney Saturday morning. So we'll see how it goes. Russell, unfortunately, you can't catch snakeheads, and man, you've been killing the snakeheads lately. It seems like you just catch a bigger snakehead every time I watch a video. And you gave the last one away. That was really good of you. I have yet to catch one. I have caught a snakehead, but since I learned that they were good to eat, I have not caught one since because I want to eat one. They are good eating, supposedly. And Russell, I think you told me more than once they're a good table fare. So. Does anyone have any questions or concerns before we get too long into this about the upcoming tournament? Anything? Everybody's kind of got the idea. That's the reason I held this live today before the tournament starts. By the way, we will not do a tournament. There will not be a live next Wednesday. Primarily because it's my anniversary. And that won't go over well. And I tell the wife, no, we're not going out tonight. I'm going to do a live on YouTube. So I've been married 28 years. I want to go 29. So we won't do it live next week. Thanks, Nicole. Thank you. We will. I'm gonna have to find a way. After 20, 25 was a big one. Thanks, Russell. But after 25, the next milestone's, I guess the next milestone 30. But what do you do between on that 28, 27, 28? It gets a little tricky. It gets a little tricky on what you decide to do on your anniversary. You got to do something. I'll figure it out, or maybe I'll be in the doghouse. So. Nicole, remind me what Arkansas or Tennessee? What area are you in? if I remember correct, I thought it was Arkansas. Brian, yeah. Get her a new bait caster? Yeah. I'll be coming sleeping at your house. New bait caster is something my wife does not want. My wife has only been fishing with me in 28 years, maybe 3 times total. Hey, Matt Herring, thanks for stopping by, bud. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, maybe 3 times in counting dating in 30 something years. So that's what I'm telling you, man. That is not a good anniversary. A fishing trip is not a good anniversary gift. And I know you've been married a long time too, Russell. You know better. So Matthew Herring, where are you from? But I don't recall seeing you on a live. But thanks for stopping by. Brian says he said get a new bait caster. Brian told me to get a new bait caster, and if she doesn't use it, you score. Brian, you know I got enough rods and reels to supply a small third world country. Gunnersville, Alabama, Matthew. Thanks for stopping by. If you're Gunnersville is a great lake to fish. Matter of fact, I will be in Gunnersville in October fishing a tournament down there with Lunkers Bass Club. It's going to be in Gunnersville this year. My wife said we keep putting holes in fish's lips so she won't go. Yeah. And Matt, you said your wife goes fishing every time I'm out. That's awesome. That is awesome. That's really great. Yeah, my wife's just not she's not much of an outdoorsman. Hey, if I'm down there, man, I'll stop by and see you. I'll let you know when I get down there. I see you on Facebook. I can reach out to you. If you don't know this, anywhere I go, if there's somebody that's on our channel that supports the channel, I'll stop by and say hi. Matter of fact, I was up in New Jersey this last weekend visiting family with my wife's family, and tried to stop by and see Deepak from Deepak Outdoors. He was busy though, and then Bogley from Bogley's Keeping It Real. I think I got a sticker. Bogley's Keeping It Real. I was actually probably 2 miles from his house, and he wasn't around to keep up. But I will meet you if I'm down there. No doubt about it. So. Maybe you can give me some tips on Gunnersville because I've never fished it. And last year when I fished the October championship with Lunkers, I did it on Lake Eufaula, Alabama. Never fished Lake Eufaula, and I came in 3rd place. So maybe I just go in blind. Hunter Shagel. I can tell you all about our 5-bass draw. That's what this live is about tonight, because it starts on 1 July. If you're not registered, while you're either on here or as soon as you're done, send me an email. That's all you need to do. Just send me an email, and I'll send you the instructions. But it starts on 1 July. And Mike Pendleton's asking when's the cutoff for people to enter. I'll let you enter up until Saturday. I mean, you'll be down today. But Hunter, here's how this works. Our nationwide 5-bass draw tournament works like this. There's 2 periods. And this is a 6-week tournament. You can fish it from anywhere you want. Everybody on here knows most of these rules. I'm sorry I'm boring a few folks, but Hunter's new here. So you can fish anywhere you want on your time during the time period of the tournament. First period, you have to register 3 bass. There's no size limit. It can be any size bass you want. You got to think about what you want to enter, because the second period is 3 weeks as well, but you only have to enter 2 bass during the second period. But during the second period, your first bass has to be 1 inch, at least 1 inch larger than your largest bass in the first period. And then the second bass in the second period has to be at least 1 inch larger than your first bass in the second period. So it makes it a little strategic. And I count all 5 of the bass for a total length. It's a length first tournament, but your biggest bass, I would recommend that you weigh it and send the weight, because the weight is a tiebreaker. And the weight has to be done on a digital scale. Have to be a picture or a video full length of the bass on a digital scale. Matter of fact, last year, weight was the tiebreaker. Nicole was in third place last year. Nicole Abrams, who's on here, she won third place because she had a weight on a bass. We had a tie on the length. So it's a length first tournament. I will send you some very detailed rules on how to register your fish. How you do it is, with your cell phone. You got to have a bump board. I don't have a bump board here to show you, but a standard bump board that's like this with the measurement on it. You set your bass on it. You take a photo with your smartphone. You send it to me in an email. That's how you register your fish. That's how easy it is. Oh, big bass. Okay. Well, Hunter, the big bass tournament is over. But I just explained the 5 bass draw that starts on the 1st of July. I'm just looking through here because I'm just trying to catch up here. All right, so the big bass tournament, Hunter, is over. We'll start that again next year, so stay tuned to the channel. The 5 bass draw is what I just explained to you. Then we have a smallmouth tournament in August. And then in the fall, we have a team tournament, which I'll send out details on. And I'm just looking, Nicole, so it's different this time, not too bigger than the first 3. So, Nicole, the 2 in the second period do have to be bigger than the largest bass in the first period. So if you catch a 20-incher in the first period, your first bass in the second period has to at least be 21 inches. And then the second bass in the second period has to be at least 1 inch larger than that first one. That's the difference. So it makes it a little tougher this year. Okay, Hunter. Thanks. All right, so Hunter was looking for that. Hey, Russell Gardner. Yeah, the 5 bass draw is kind of built, Hunter, for your information. We built that format to kind of level out the playing field across the United States, because it's true you catch a lot of big bass in Florida, Texas, all that. But the way we have this tournament set up, it doesn't matter where you're at. It depends on the links you turn in through the tournament. And I'll give you an example. Last year, good friends of ours, Small Water Charters, are on here all the time, John and Lydia. John turned in 3 bass last year in the first period that were 60 inches total. He turned in 3 20-inchers. And then in the second period, turned in nothing. Now, there was a hurricane that was part of it, but he didn't catch any fish large enough to qualify for the second period. So you have to be strategic about how you turn the bass in. So Mike Dennis says, if we're in other tournaments, are we automatically entered? Mike, if you entered in any of the other tournaments, you will see, yes, you're automatically entered. I have been sending out emails about halfway through everybody getting their email. I think I got about 300 more emails to send out tonight and tomorrow. So if you don't have your participant code, you will have it in the next 24 hours. Brian, I think you're absolutely right. The smallmouth fisherman shining is Mike Pendleton, who's on here somewhere earlier. He was in second place. So last year, he won second place with mostly smallmouth bass. I mean, it was just amazing. I think, Mike, if I remember right, you had 96 inches. Hunter, you're located in central Northern California. It's almost like how the tournament rules are set up. Yep, it's a good format for you. And Hunter, I wish you'd have been. We had a Western Big Bass tournament, and I only had like 7 entries in that Western Big Bass tournament. And if you'd have caught on to the channel before, then you potentially could have won that. So, well, Mike, I think you it's not the only chance you got to win on the 5 bass draw. I think you have a pretty good chance of winning the smallmouth only tournament. So, and that is going to be the 3 largest smallmouth. We're not going to put a special format on that. We're just going for the smallmouth tournament, which I'll put out some, as always, I'll put out some more information the closer it gets, but that will be the 3 largest smallmouth caught during that 3-week period. Brian, if you're not watching Big Bait Posse, man, it seems like every other cast, Mike and the guys he's with are catching 20-inch smallmouth. It seems like that. The smallmouth tournament starts the 1st of August. And hold on just a second. I'll tell you the exact date. Let me pull up my website. The smallmouth tournament starts, okay, it's 20 August. The smallmouth tournament is 20 August through 10 September. 20 August through 10 September for the smallmouth only tournament. It's a 3-week tournament. So, Nicole, as soon as the 5 bass draw, you'll have about a week or 2, and you can go right into the smallmouth tournament as well. And right now, the fall tournament, the fall team tournament will start the 21st of September. Just looking through here. Susquehanna is really good smallmouth fishing. I need to get to the Susquehanna. Who else is on here? I missed. Yeah, Mike Pendleton, I think you got some good water where you're at. You don't need the Susquehanna. Hey, Justin Gray, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you stopping by. We're talking about the tournament that's coming on, starting on Saturday, 1 July. And I want to say I've already sent out your participant code. I closed everything down when I started this, so I don't have it up here. So if you haven't, again, for folks that are on here, if you haven't seen your participant code, it will be to you very shortly, within the next 24 hours. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the link here if anyone wants to jump in here. Okay, Justin, you got your code. Good. That's awesome. Carlos Maldonado. Yes, Carlos. Anywhere you want to fish for the 5 bass draw. Boat, bank, kayak, mud puddle, if it's got bass in it. So Russell, I'm reading this. My grandkids want to enter the contest. Can one use her mom's email and the other use your wife's email? Mom or wife are not fishing in this correct? Yes, you can. Just send me an email from their email address, and I will register them that way. Russell, just make sure you get me the emails before Friday, and I'll get them registered. Yeah, Brian, we should talk. That's a good day. I would like to go on the Susquehanna and just kill some smallmouth. A jet boat's the way to do it too. I mean, I probably do okay in my boat with my electric motor. I don't think is the current that heavy, Brian, in the Susquehanna? I don't think it's that heavy. And I can run pretty skinny. I can't run as skinny as a jet boat, obviously, but I can probably run in 6 inches of water easily. If it's an all-day spinnerbait bite, I'm there, Brian. Well, Justin, I'm glad you're pumped up for the tournament. I have got a lot of emails back saying they've been waiting on this one. This is a fun format. I really enjoy this because what I like to see is that first period. I mean, we had so many fish registered last year. And it just seemed like everybody registered all these big fish. And then they got to the second period, and it was just like, it just came to a screeching halt. Well, I think Brian, if I remember right, Brian, he kind of, you didn't catch any bigger fish neither for the second half last year. You got to be careful. Chris Maldonado, okay. Yeah, I know it's rocky on this but yeah, Nicole, you do. You have to think. You got to think hard on this tournament. Yeah, Brian had 59 inches in the first period, which is a great good start. But you couldn't get that bigger bass in the second period, so you got to really think it through. You know, and if I'm not mistaken, and I have to go back and look at the spreadsheet. I still have the spreadsheet. The top 5 people from the first half did not even qualify for the to win the tournament because they did not catch 5 bass. You do have to register 5 bass to qualify for the game. Yeah, good point, Nicole. You have to pick and choose wisely. Yeah, Brian's like, I couldn't catch a 20-inch in the first round. I don't care what part of the United States you're in. 20-incher is not something you're going to come by every time you go out fishing, right? I fish 2 or 3 days a week. You're right, Brian. It was a fall tournament. That's a good point. I fish a couple days a week on average, from February to November. And I do catch a lot of big bass, but I would say about every third outing, I'll catch 120 plus. Now in the spring's a little bit different. I'll definitely catch more in the spring and more in the fall, but once you get in the summertime, it's a little bit tougher. All right. Well, I'm not seeing a lot of. I'll put this up here one more time. If anyone wants to try to jump in, has any questions, want to jump up and ask. Again, for the folks that just came in, I will not do a live next Wednesday night. I will be putting out. A new episode, a new fishing episode next week, maybe even 2. I've got some stuff. I kind of keep throwing it up in the air what I want to do, but I will definitely won't be live, but I'll throw out a new episode next week. Yeah, Brian, I don't know if were the lakes turned over last year in the fall. I don't think they turned over until late last year, if I recall correctly. Justin, you're in Kansas. Yeah, what part of Kansas are you in? Are you close to like Wichita, or are you closer up to Overland Park, Kansas City area? Because if you're out in the western part of Kansas, you said, yeah, Justin, Wichita. I know it's dry down there. I'm originally from Oklahoma, so I have a lot of family in the Oklahoma area. So, correct, Nicole. You cannot. Yeah, it was October last year. You cannot cull in the first period. What you turn in is what you turn in, and you can the last 2. You can cull the last 2. Hutchinson. I know where Hutchinson is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're in that area. If you're getting a drought, you're getting a drought. And plus, not only that, it gets hot and windy in that part of Kansas, and that combined with the drought, man, it sucks the water out of the ground out of the lake real quick. So, yeah, Nicole, good question. So, folks, for the first part of this tournament, that first 3-week period, when you turn in your fish, I mean, you can turn them in one at a time. You can turn them all 3 in at once, however you want to do it. But you cannot cull. You cannot change out your bass during the first period. Now, the second period, you can change them out every day if you want to. You can change them out every day. And that makes for a little bit of, again, back to that strategic thinking about how you want to turn those fish in. But thanks, Nicole. You're not able to cull your fish that you turn in the first period. So be smart about that. Let's see if I'm missing anybody here. Yeah, I do remember, Nicole. You did turn one in last minute to call. I was like, no, sorry. But Nicole, I don't know if you remember this. Remember this fish you turned in and I forget how big it was. It was a nice bass. It's a 20-incher or so. And all I seen was the bump board and, the fish in the bump board and Nicole's feet. She was holding the bump board down with her feet. She had black toenail polish on. Just remember that. So it was kind of interesting, that one you turned in last year, Nicole. Okay, Justin, if you're traveling, good on you if you got some places to go. You can fish this from any lake, stream, puddle, whatever, anywhere, any public water. So wherever you think you need to go to catch them, get out there and get them. So something I don't talk about a lot, but I think I'll mention it now. A lot of guys, like I do fish. Most of you know I do fish a couple of tournament trails. One, I fish the Lunkers out of Florida, and I travel with my buddy Gary from Gary's Fishing Tales, and I fish in Florida, Georgia, Alabama area. If you're fishing in a local tournament, and I do fish the electric, me and Brian have actually fished electric bass club here, and I'll probably fish a few more of those. But if you're fishing in a local tournament, catching 5 and turning them in and weighing them, whatever, you can count those in this tournament. It doesn't. If you're fishing a catch and release tournament, and you want to measure and count that for this tournament, you can do so. There's no stipulation on that. So if you catch a whopper in a tournament and you're in this tournament, registered in this tournament, count it. You can double dip. So I know a lot of folks do fish local tournaments. Your local tournaments on wherever area you're in, but you can count your local tournament fish in this tournament as well. So there's no stipulation on that whatsoever. I'm going to throw this out there, folks, for the guys, the folks that are interested in the smallmouth tournament. I'm going to call my sponsor at Omnia Fishing. Brian, you cannot count the one you catch out of the Bass Pro Aquarium. We've already had this conversation. Don't do that. So for those of you who are going to fish the smallmouth only tournament, so the guy I deal with at Omnia Fishing, his name is Trevor Lowe. He's a pro, and he's up in Minnesota, and he's a really good smallmouth fisherman. He really focuses on catching big smallmouth. So I'm going to ask him if he will participate in this tournament, but not as a contestant. But what I'd like him to do is throw out an extra prize. Have him participate in the tournament and catch 3 big smallmouth, or the biggest ones he can catch during that 3-week period. And if someone beats the length that he throws out, we'll give him an extra $50 gift card. So let's just say he gets 55 inches, and Mike Pendleton, who's probably going to throw in 60 anyway, beats his 55 and he wins first. We'll do a $200 gift card for first place and then a $50 for beating the pro. So I'm going to try to talk to Trevor Lowe. He may be watching this. Trevor, if you're watching this, I'm calling him now. So I'm going to try to kind of sweeten that pot for the smallmouth tournament. There's several pros at Omnia Fishing. By the way, that's our sponsor. If you didn't know that, you can see that on the bottom of the screen. Take 15% off all your tackle at Omnia Fishing with SFO 2023. But there's several pros. I'm going to try to talk them into participating and doing stuff like that in the future tournaments. So you'll be at Bass Pro Shop Saturday. I have a feeling I'll see you on Mooney Saturday, right? And heck, you'll do better at Mooney than you would do at our local Bass Pro Shop. So speaking of the pocket fisherman, I don't know how much there's a channel out there. I forgot the guy's name. I've talked to him several times. YouTuber. His channel is called Retro Fishing. It's pretty popular. He gets all the old, like the pocket fisherman, the helicopter lure, all those lures we seen when we were growing up on television, on TV commercials. He collects that stuff and he goes out and fishes with it. It's a pretty good channel. He's got a lot of neat things. Matter of fact, he's got a 1983 Bass Tracker, old school, yeah. He's got a 1983 Bass Tracker that he bought it. He took it to Bass Pro Shop and had him install all the original electronics, the old flashers that he fishes out of the 80s old school boat as well as all the tackle. Pretty good fishing channel. It's pretty popular too. And if I'm not mistaken, he collects all the old lures and he sells them and things of that nature. So if you're interested in that, it's called Retro Bassing. Pretty good guy too. All right, well, doesn't look like the banjo minnow was a good lure. The banjo minnow catches fish. It was actually a pretty good lure, and I'm surprised I didn't catch on. I did buy the helicopter lure. I did buy the banjo minnow, and what was the one that glided backwards? There was another lure. I wasted my money on all those. I'm sure a few of us are guilty of that in our time. Heck, I mean, if I could point down here under my table all the extra tackle I've got stuff in here I probably never fished with. So I think most fishermen, and I'm guilty, have a little bit of a tackle addiction. $29.95. That's right. So, all right, folks, I'm going to jump out of here. We've been on about 35 minutes. Thanks for stopping by again. I appreciate everybody. If you have any questions or concerns about the tournament, don't hesitate to email me. If you haven't got your participant code, again, I got about 300 more emails to send out. You will see those in the next 24 hours. Good luck in the big bass or in the 5 bass draw. If you know someone that's interested that wants to enter, tell them to get me an email pretty soon. Hey James, thanks for stopping by. So don't hesitate to let them know. I will let people register up until midnight on Saturday if they want to. So again, see you guys. There is no live next week. Again, it's my anniversary. There'll be the following week on the 12th. Of course, I'll send out an email on that for everybody. So thanks everybody. Have a good night.